12 of the Chocolate Lab. Get that dog, Mrs. Kunkel screams. The crowd scrambles as Coco starts destroying the Chocolate Expo. His nails skitter on the polished to a shine floor, and he slides into one table after another. He sends a display of chocolate-dipped strawberries tumbling. He topples the chocolate-covered Oreo table. People start chasing Coco to save their own displays, and guests start running away to avoid getting trampled. Chocolate Labs are not known for their strength or their speed, but Coco is proving anyone who ever believes those things 100% wrong. It's not his fault, I cry out. He's just like the rest of us. He loves the smell of chocolate. That dog is not just like the rest of us, Mrs. Kunkel barks as she charges past. Her jello neck jiggles. That dog is a nuisance. He is a nuisance and a terror. I want to defend Coco, but right now is probably not the best time. Coco slams into our display. His eyes are wide and his tongue hangs from his smiling mouth. I scoop up the last tray of chocolate just as it slides to the edge of the table. Hannah moves alongside me. I guess no ribbons for us, huh? She says. I guess not. How are we going to stop Coco? She asked. Stopping Coco right now would be like stopping a hurricane, I say. Coco skitters past again. This time, 2 security guards are chasing him. Hey, Hannah says, look over there. I follow her pointing finger. Standing by the open door, holding it open, actually, is Alan Kunkel. He's got a huge smile across his face. He trots over to his mother and joins the chase. Do you think Alan did this? I ask Hannah. I'm sure of it, Hannah says. She pats her pocket. I have proof. What do you mean you have? But before I can finish my sentence, a scream rises up and an elephant spray of melted chocolate flings into the air. When the crowd clears, laughter rings out. On the floor, in the middle of the auditorium, sits Mrs. Kunkel and Alan. I barely recognize them. They're completely covered in melted chocolate from the overturned fountain. I think taking a bath in chocolate would be fun, but Mrs. Kunkel does not share my feeling. Disqualified, she yells. Disqualified! She tries to stand up, but she slips in the dark liquid and starts flopping on the floor. Someone call animal control. Have that beast removed from my event. Coco is not a beast. It's a voice I haven't heard in days, at least not in person. I turn to see my father at the entrance to the Chocolate Expo. Mom is standing alongside him. He's our pet. At the sound of Dad's voice, Coco stops. He trots alongside my father and sits down. As fast as the hurricane started, it ends. Soon, animal control officers show up. They explain to my parents that Coco needs to be held until they make sure he's had all of his shots and that he didn't cause any serious injuries. I explain that Coco would never hurt anyone on purpose, but they still take him anyway. As the lock slides into place and I see them wheel Coco out to the truck, I can't help the tears from streaming down my face. What are we going to do? I say. Mom and Dad give Hannah and me big hugs. Usually those hugs are really good at making me feel better, but this time it doesn't work. We'll figure something out, Mom says. But maybe this is all for the best. What do you mean? Hannah says. Dad kneels down. We're moving, he says. Your new school starts in 2 weeks. We can't take Coco with us. Maybe the shelter can find him a good home, one where he doesn't have to smell chocolate and go crazy all the time. But everyone goes crazy for chocolate, I say, between sniffles. He's just behaving like the rest of us want to behave. Dad smiles, but I can tell it's just to cover up his frown. I wish it were that easy, he says. Maybe we can help Coco find a better home. Sometimes life is about finding the right situation at the right time. And that gives me an idea. The right time, I say. What? Mom says. I brighten. The right time. That's our problem. We have the best chocolate, I say, looking over at Grandpa. But not the best chocolate for today. We have the best chocolate for 1776. I don't understand, Dad says. Grandpa waggles his chocolate roller. I think I do, he says. Let me make a few phone calls.